Superman Up in the Sky issue 1 sees Superman head to Gotham on Batman's request, meeting with the Dark Knight and learning of a Gotham home invasion where a family was murdered and their foster kids either killed, wounded or kidnapped. Batman wants Superman to talk to one of the girls who was shot, so going to the hospital, he meets with the little girl who tells him what happened in the kidnapping and how she and her sister Alice hid, but Alice was taken. Superman asks where Alice was taken and the girl just points up. Back in Metropolis, Clark tries to tell Perry about the murder and kidnapping in Gotham and wants to go and do some work on it, to look into it and investigate to see if there's any more to it. Perry isn't happy about it since the story is in Gotham, especially when they have so many monster attacks or Luthor attacks in Metropolis to cover. He tells Kent he won't be covering the story, and later Superman teams with Green Lantern to take on a T-Rex, talking about the case and how they were able to find trace amounts of Zeta Beam energy at the kidnapping crime scene. Howler knows that they can't trace Zeta Beams, or even counterfeit Zeta Beam tubes, or at least they haven't figured out how to yet, and he tried talking with the Rainians, but they stonewalled him. He has however put out an APB with the Lantern Corps for Alice. He tells Superman that they might find her, but the universe is pretty damn big. Later he talks with Batman, and Bruce tells Clark to go to Rann and follow the lead, but Clark knows that would take weeks or months, and he has responsibilities on Earth. Batman says that there is a difference between him and Superman, or Superman and everyone else, and that is that they are who they are, but he is Superman. Clark goes to see Pa Kent, saying Earth needs him here, and he can't just go off into the universe. Pa agrees with him, and Clark says that no one knows what's coming their way, and he can't go off to find one little girl. He knows that the Lantern Corps looking for her will do more good than him, and again Pa agrees, but says this is unless they don't find her. Pa says that if that's the case, then the little girl will be alone in space, hoping, like all little kids do, that someone will save them. Later, Clark is called by Bruce, telling him that the little girl he saw in the hospital took a turn for the worst, passing away during the night. Meeting with Lois on the top of the Daily Planet, he tells her he's leaving to find Alice. Lois knows with their luck, Lex or Toyman or another villain will attack while Superman's gone, and he can't save everybody. Clark knows that, but knows that he maybe can save Alice. Lois tells him to go, saying as a favor she will try not to fall from any buildings while he's gone. Superman takes off for Rann, meeting with a scientist who says it's absolutely impossible to track the counterfeit Zeta Beams despite having all of the data on hand, and it's because they have too much data to sift through. The scientist says that he brought one of their best supercomputers, Computo 3, to help sift through the data, but Superman won't understand the complexities behind it. The scientist does reveal, however, that during sorting the data, the Computo 3 robot exploded, since the code had been self-erased and caused the robot to go insane, deleting itself since there was just too much data. Superman decides to strap himself into the data machine, ready to take on all of the data himself. The scientist warns against it, saying he will certainly die, but Superman tells him to press the button, so the scientist does, saying goodbye to Superman. In his mind, a boy throws himself from a building in an attempt to be Superman, and Clark learns of the boy from Lois, overhearing how the boy didn't have many friends but loved fact books and superheroes, with Superman being his favorite superhero. Superman meets with Wonder Woman, telling her he's quitting since he can't let another kid die because of him. Diana says it will almost certainly happen again, since he inspires so many people. 10 years later, a bearded Superman is confronted by the hologram of Jor-El, who tells him in the 10 years that he has been not helping, there has been so much suffering and devastation, and he could list them, but would his son listen? Clark says that he will always listen, and that if he helps them, they die, but if he doesn't help them, they die as well, making success impossible, and one can go mad from it and die from it. Going to a roof, Clark finds himself met by a little girl, who wonders if he will jump. He tells her he is going to, and she is as well, but she wonders if when she jumps, if Clark will catch her. Clark doesn't know if he can, and the little girl thinks that's a good thing, since she thought he was going to say that he couldn't. Going to sit on a park bench, the girl says that they were in the Bodes Galaxy when they stopped at a museum for a bathroom break. She talks about the museum exhibition on Krypton and how there was a part about a little baby who flew away, and got her thinking about a baby growing up somewhere else, not knowing anything and having to learn everything, but no one could do that. The girl then realized that that's technically everyone in the universe, and they are all born into a strange world and have have to learn on their own, and the baby in the Kryptonian rocket is no different. Superman asks what the girl's name is, learning it is Alice as he awakens from the data machine. The scientist is perplexed that Superman survived the ordeal, but Superman says that it was just luck, and like anyone else he was stuck, and that might have stayed with him, but he doesn't have time for that as someone needs him. Superman Up in the Sky issue 1 was a surprisingly concise and coherent book, which quite confused me since given Tom King usually writes incoherent messes as seen in his Batman book. The book was actually a great look at the character of Superman. I wouldn't necessarily call it a love letter to the character, but it's pretty damn close, and he's set up a story that's actually quite cool with Superman going and dealing with a space-wide kidnapping case. I think that's pretty cool. It's not without its problems, however, as I found a lot of the pages constantly reaffirming the information we were getting on that page. Like in the second last page, it just kept stating over and over again how Superman is just like humans. Like, we get it, just move on from that. You can just say it once and just move on. King also doesn't have a good handle on female characters. This is another thing that's prevalent in his Batman book as well. Here, Lois is just kept talking about how she's a damsel in distress and trying to fall off buildings and all that sort of stuff. That's not her character at all. It was in like the 1930s and 40s, but it's not anymore. It was just very strange. Still, it's a huge step up from what I'm used to seeing from Tom King. I'm going to give this issue a 7.5 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.